redundant, but still it's an ornament. So it appears to be redundant, but it's not redundant, it's an ornament. Sri Lakshmi is actually an ornament. Lord Chaitanya doesn't point it as a fault, he points it out as an ornament. So calling Lakshmi Devi Sri Lakshmi is not a fault, it's an ornament.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Even the translation also says that, Prabhuji. It's not, it's redundant, but it's not redundant also.
Thank you so much.
Shrikar Vallari Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Harekrishna Prabhuji.
Harekrishna.
I have a question about the meter used here. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his responses, like what we've read, it's very poetic. Like it's a constant. It's in a 2-line meter. Unlike Srimad Bhagavatam, when we read, it's different. This is like 2 lines. Is this the standard for poetic debates during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, or just discussion? Like how we're talking, Prabhuji, we're talking like in sentences, and not really poetic. But is it different in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time?
Well, 500 years ago, it was kind of one of the sports, just like cricket or baseball or other, games are considered sports. But in 500 years ago, the favorite sports for people was to debate.
Yeah.
So all the great scholars and learned people, they used to debate with each other. Even you'll find that in the times of all the Vaishnava acharyas, Sripad Shankaracharya, he went on debate with all the great scholars, and that's how he conquered everyone and established the authority of the Vedas. Similarly, Sripad Ramanujacharya, he went and debated. So debate was considered one of the very common, sports for the learned scholars. We find even in Rupa Sanatan Goswami's life, there was the great Digvijayi Pandit who had come to Vrindavan, who got Rupa Goswami to sign the Vijay Patra, but then Jiva Goswami defeated him. It was a very common thing in those days.
Okay. Yeah. A quick follow-up question. What are the lines in the slokas, the long lines?
What I didn't get your question.
Like in the Sanskrit, there's some long lines actually in the middle, connecting between sentences, words.
No, I didn't get what line you said. Mod what?
Long line.
Long lines, like in the Veda base, I think Vijay Prabhu is showing.
Are you talking about verse 82?
Yeah,
Okay.
in some of the verses there is long lines. I didn't. Oh no, not long. I mean, dashes, long dashes. I mean, like text 83, for example.
Okay. Oh no, that is just for the sake of
Readability.
meter or filling the, just like in sometime in singing also, the tal, there is some empty tal. When you are singing, there is empty tal.
Right.
So same way. Gangara Mahatva Sadhya Sadhana Taha Vishnu Padotpatti Anumana Alankar.
Okay.
So there is when there's a dash like that, that means you have a longer pause.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Ananda Baldev Prabhu, you can ask your question.
Sure, Prabhu. Harekrishna Prabhuji. In text 97, the translation is Saraswati had in fact induced the champion to compose his verse in an impure way. And furthermore, when it was discussed, she covered his intelligence and thus Lord's intelligence was triumphed. So generally we see that Digvijayi was a worshipper of Saraswati, and if it was the other way around, means if he was a worshipper of Lord Krishna would have Lord Krishna would have supported his devotee, right? But in this case, because Lord wasn't present, Saraswati didn't support his worshipper. So because the question is reason why. The reason that Saraswati didn't support his worshipper because Lord was in front of him.
Well, it's not like that if anyone is worshipping Krishna, Krishna will always take his side. Bhishma Deva was the great devotee of Lord Krishna. But Bhishma Deva was put on the bed of arrows. So it's not the question of being devotee of some deity or being devotee of the Supreme Lord. It's the question of pride here. So because Digvijayi Pandit had developed pride, and Mother Saraswati, being very kind to him, wanted to give him the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So she arranged for him to be defeated at the hands of Lord Chaitanya. Mother Saraswati cannot open her mouth in the presence of the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. She is the maid servant of the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is not very inappropriate for Mother Saraswati to not to help the Digvijayi Pandit and make him defeated at the hands of Lord Chaitanya. And Mother Saraswati actually herself explained to Digvijayi that I cannot even open my mouth in the presence of my Lord and Master, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because whatever wisdom Mother Saraswati has, whatever knowledge Mother Saraswati has, is also because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. Mother Saraswati is one of the energies of the Supreme Lord. So energy is always subordinate to energetic. So energy, whatever opulence Mother Saraswati has, also because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So how can she open her mouth in the presence of the Lord?
Mm-hmm.
Prabhuji, one follow up on this.
Sure, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, looks like as soon as the Digvijay Pandit, he understood that he made a mistake. He made the mistakes. He immediately understood that whatever he was doing is by the grace of Saraswati. Actually, he is not the doer.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, we see he being exhibiting the pride also. So, when he thinks that he is an instrument in the hands of Mother Saraswati, then how pride can enter?
Generally, a person who is worshipping different demigods doesn't really think that he is instrument in the hands of demigods. He actually thinks otherwise. He thinks the demigods, they are like instrument for him to fulfill his desires. So a person doesn't really has a humility like a Vaishnava to think himself or herself as instrument in the hands of the Supreme Lord. Digvijayi was not worshipping Mother Saraswati because he had a great love and sense of surrender to Mother Saraswati. So therefore, the pride is natural. When a person is not engaged in devotional service to the Supreme Lord, the pride is natural. And that's what we see in practically all the worshippers of demigods. Hiranyakashipu worshipped Brahmadev, and after having benediction, he was proud. Ravana worshipped Brahma, and after having benediction, he was proud. Nahusha, Vena, all these great kings or demons, they had so much power. They had worshipped different demigods. But They were naturally proud and puffed up.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Generally, sometimes we also get some glorification of doing some things. I mean to say, at least myself, and so at the city level, I may tend to think that I deserve it. So that seems to be very tricky.
When when a devotee, as a sadhaka, yes, it's natural. It's that sometimes we may think like that, but when we continue to do sadhana bhakti sincerely, Krishna and Vaishnavas remind us that we are not the doers. And even if sometimes, if the devotee does become proud, Krishna makes arrangement. Immediately, Krishna makes arrangement to open the eyes of the devotee. No.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you, Prabhu.
We don't have any questions.
That's it. We are over. So then we can maybe chant one round together for Sukeshwari Mataji.
Okay.